and decimals. So our learning target today is I can convert between fractions and decimals. Please write what you already know, and there's a pretty good chance that you already know how to convert between fractions and decimals. This is a quick review, but is something we studied before. Write down the date. And then we have one vocabulary word today, which is convert, which means to change from one form to another while keeping the value the same. So please pause the video, write all that down, and then restart when you're ready to go. So there's two different things we need to be able to do. The first is writing fractions as decimals. So let's say, for example, that we have the fraction 7/20. Now, one thing to realize is that when we're working with fractions, a fraction bar can also mean divide. So another way to think of this problem is just to say that this is the same as 7 divided by 20. And then you have the way to convert this into a decimal. 7/20 is 7 divided by 20. That's just 0.35. And you can use a calculator for that. Okay? Now, one thing to be careful of when you are solving these problems is of things like, let's say you were going to convert the fraction 5/9. If you can do 5 divided by 9 on your calculator, it's going to say something like 0.5555555, and it's going to keep going, and then there's a 6 at the end. Now, 5/9 is actually a 5 that's just repeating forever and ever and ever. The reason that we get this 6 at the end is because at the end, when your calculator runs out of space, it's going to round up, and it's going to put a 6 at the end. But be really, really careful. This is actually the number 0.5 repeating. You might also get something like, if you were going to do 7/12 on your calculator, you would get 0.5833333333, and it's just going to keep going with the threes. This one doesn't round at the end. You don't get a 4 at the end because 3 is rounded down. And so in this case, it would be 0.583 repeating. The only other thing to be a little bit careful of is if you have something like 3 and 11/16. You're going to just put the 3 in front of the decimal point, and then the 11/16, you'll do the division with that. In this case, you would get 6,875. Now, any of these numbers could have also been negative. And in that case, like if it was negative 3 and 11/16, you would just put a negative in front of your decimal as well. Going the opposite direction, if we want to write a decimal as a fraction, let's say we have here. Now, the easiest rule is to just say it out loud. If we were to say this fraction out loud correctly, we would say 0 and 4/10. That makes it really easy to see that this is 4/10, which we can simplify by 2 to get 2/5. The other way to do this, though, is to put a 1 under the decimal point and a 0 under everything that comes after the decimal point. And you can see, again, this would still be 4/10. Now, if you have a number like, say, negative 2.79, well, in this case, if I were to follow the same rule and I put a 1 under the decimal and zeros under everything else, I get 79/100. But it's really important that we remember that negative 2 as well. In this case, 79/100 does not simplify, so we would be done. So a couple things to always remember. Always simplify. Fractions are not always going to say to simplify. You are expected at this point in time to know that you need to simplify. And then don't forget your whole numbers or any negative symbols. That's it for today. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.